Hi, my name is Janai Lane, and I'm the founder of Spirit Coach Training. You know, I want to be completely honest with you. These are challenging times, and sometimes we feel the grief and the sadness and the suffering that's happening all around us. As I'm in California and the wildfires are burning the land and the animals, and where I live, you can't go outside. I'm not seeing the birds like I usually do. There's this real sense of deep grief. And I woke up this morning and I just sobbed. I just sobbed. And I think it's important that we understand that we need to feel what we're feeling. So if we're feeling sadness or we're feeling grief, which is completely normal at this time, that we allow it to move through our system, that we allow ourselves to feel it. Because otherwise, that takes up a tremendous amount of our energy. Our energy becomes completely tied up, and it doesn't allow us then to rise up in our vibrational resonance and start to co-create, to add to the light of the world, to serve, to contribute, to give our gifts, to continue to lift people up as the light workers that we all are. And you know, if you're listening to this, you are a light worker, meaning you've incarnated at this particular time to serve others. That doesn't mean you're immune to the feelings of sadness and grief, because that is just part of the human experience. And we have to feel it to heal it, and especially to free up our energy. Now, there's a way that we can do that that can be very beneficial and can allow the energy to move in a flowing way, right? Which is what emotions are. Emotions mean the root Latin word means to flow outward. So we want to keep it fluid and flowing because that frees up our energy for other things. And we need that energy right now. We need it. We need it to create solutions and to create our service in the world, and to create beauty and to sing and to dance and to regardless of what's happening, to raise and uplift ourselves and those around us, which is very, very important. So let's do a little exercise together where I can help you to show you what I'm being shown directly from the Ascended Masters that can be fruitful. All right. So we're going to use the power of the high spiritual heart, because this power here is an untapped resource. And we are so identified, especially now, over-identified with the emotional heart, which is getting stuck and stagnant and filled with energy. And of course, we have the wounded heart, which is made up of our childhood wounding and programming, which also needs to receive the light of the high spiritual heart so it can become more transparent and more can flow through it as we release the false self, that which we are not, which is made up of our wounding and programming. So what we're going to do is I want you to just get yourself centered. And if it helps, you can bring your hands into Namaste at the high spiritual heart. And just take a deep breath in and acknowledge the divine that lives in you. Acknowledge that part of you, because this is the part I'm speaking to. This is the part you're calling forth. This is the part of you that is wise and that can heal whatever is arising in your field at this moment. And I want you to allow just this beautiful, I call it the wholeness frequency. And the wholeness frequency is this crystalline white light. And I want you to see it pouring down, just pouring down. And it's pouring down into the high spiritual heart and out through. So it's creating like this this fluid column of light on the vertical, flowing into the high heart and out in front of you, pouring forth, pouring forth. And as we receive this light, I want you to imagine that the emotional heart is there out in front of you, and that this beautiful wholeness frequency is flooding that emotional heart. Now, whatever's up for you, whatever's stuck and stagnant, it might be grief or sadness or frustration or anger. This is what is capturing much of your energy right now. And we're allowing this beautiful stream of light just to permeate, just to flood that emotional heart, to flood it through. And we're going to do a tone, because that amplifies the healing frequency, the healing wholeness frequency, because wholeness is what healing is. All right. So we're going to take a deep breath in. You can do it with me as you focus. And we're enlivening the high spiritual heart, which has 5,000 times the electrical power of the brain. So we're enlivening that to create a wave of healing through the emotional heart. Deep breath in. Now notice whatever's arising, tears or anything that's coming through, just let it happen, welcome it, because that is the movement of energy, the movement of emotions. Now we're going to bring this same crystalline wholeness frequency through the wounded heart, because the wounded heart also captures a lot of our energy, and we're often acting from the past. We're not in present time, and that really traps our energy. So we're going to loosen it. We're going to free it up with this wholeness frequency as we amplify the energy with the high spiritual heart and the tone. As we see this crystalline energy flooding in and through the wounded heart, deep breath in together. And that unwinding, the movement of the letting go, the unraveling of the false self, again creating more transparency, more light flooding through. Now this process is just a natural process that can happen as you utilize this tool. Now, together, let's send light out into the world, because you and I, we are powerful together. We create an amplification in the field when we come together. So part of how we lift our own vibration is in service of the greater good. So we're going to focus our energy, and we're going to focus it on whatever feels resonant for you, whether it's the wildfires or COVID, or just the heaviness that people are feeling because they're in fear. But we offer this, the highest good to be served, as again, we see this beautiful crystalline energy coming down through the high heart and out into the earth plane, into humanity, into Mother Earth herself and all her creatures, the trees, and all that we are a part of, we are connected to. All right, so take a deep breath in, see that crystalline wholeness frequency coming in, charging through the high spiritual heart and out. And you can almost feel the waves of energy pulsing through your own form and out. It's really palpable when you tune into that. That also has a healing effect on you because you're being the conduit for this healing energy. Beautiful. Now, I hope you repeat this process, you practice this, you become a scientist in your own life, you experiment with this, because this can have a tremendous healing impact on you and the world around you. It can then free your energy so you can take that energy and you can put it into things. You can put it into creation, into contribution, into service, because that's what the world needs. The world needs your light right now. Thank you so much for listening, and namaste.